we're starting with, there's an interactive storybook of Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny. I'm just like, this doesn't look too bad. I kind of I got my Peter Rabbit fix the other month. That was good. But yeah, there's a totally different program to the one we saw. But yeah, definitely a testament to
adventures of Peter Rabbit and
like
Benjamin
how far
Bunny,
Peter Rabbit's come. I went to the post office the other day, and they still had like Peter Rabbit stuff there. Yeah. Who do these stories belong
Click
to?
on
I
either
wonder.
of the blue arrows until you come to your name. Once you've found your name, click on the sign with the green arrow. If your name isn't here, go to the parent menu, then you can type your name.
Well, I don't think my name's going to be here unless there's a picture of a pair of sandals. I guess we pick one of these, but yeah, geez, Peter Rabbit's held up. 100 plus years on. Ooh, big basket of blackberries. That says good. Pick
We're
that
off
one.
to the marvelous country world of Peter Rabbit.
Yeah, we get a nice little animated flyover of the world of Peter Rabbit. Actually, a pretty good flyover for whenever this came out, probably mid-90s, late 90s maybe. Oh yes, the British countryside. So wonderful. Oh, they even went to the effort of like putting in CG sheep. That's pretty good. Okay, gotta find out. Oh, wait for that wait. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up because I watched through.
If you would like to hear
I'll
about
wait
the
for this
adventures of Peter Rabbit, click on Peter and you can read his story.
Oh, that's it?
If you would like to hear about Peter's cousin, Benjamin Bunny, click on Benjamin and you can read his story.
Oh, there's all sorts of little things out in the countryside there. Okay,
You may click on Mr. McGregor's garden if you want to go there to play.
Okay, there's some games. Great. Fantastic.
To go into the woods, click on the woods.
Click on the woods, yes.
If
no,
you decide at any time
he
that you
just
don't
keeps
want to
talking.
go
I
on
can't
with
get a
your
word in.
adventure, you may leave by clicking the sign which says the end.
Yeah, thank you. Right. No, I think that was the only thing I was disappointed with when I went. Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to tell a story, stupid Robin.
Peter, and you can read his
I'm
story.
gonna go fry you up in a second. Let's just do the story. Off you go, Peter. Get into some
The
mischief,
Tale
mate.
of Peter Rabbit.
Here we go. Okay. No, I was disappointed with the animated series because they didn't animate Benjamin's
Once
tam
upon a
o'shanter. He
time,
just
there
didn't
were
have it
4
for some
little
reason.
rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter.
Better.
To go on to the next page, click the sign with the green arrow.
Yeah, alright. Do they do anything besides just be rabbits? No, apparently not. We can't. It's not like the normal interactive storybooks where you click things.
Click on the gate if at any time you'd like to go back to the main map for
Yeah,
more
alright,
choices.
alright. Guess we're just reading the story then. Don't get any fun little hotspots to click on. That's disappointing. Oh, we can save if we want to go back. Yeah, going by the old school bookmark. Oh, we can. Oh, hang on. There's like. Here we go. Yep, woodpecker.
To begin, you must choose the number of nuts you want to play with. Click on a nut pile to make your selection.
No, I don't want to play with your nuts. Thank you very much. I just want to like find hots. Okay, guess we're just. That is cacophonous. Holy shit. That
The
music is
Tale
just
of
really
Peter
loud to me.
Rabbit.
Okay. So we go over here. Don't click on the squirrel this time. Why is it? There's a part of my desk that's really greasy for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because I'm very greasy. Okay. Fields.
Fields.
Oh,
Wall.
that's a bit of a sexy voice going on there.
Fields.
Fields.
Lane.
Lane. Yes. Anything else exciting we can click on besides the mini game? I guess not. We can still. Which? Okay, I kind of don't want to click on the squirrel in case it goes to another game. Oh, we can like travel around as well. Going by that arrow. Okay. Yep, just very, very slow pan. Oh, we're back with the bunnies. And they just do. You can't catch us. We are rabbits. Sure. How do we continue the story though? Okay, I'm guessing the sparkly bits indicate it's a mini game of some sort, rather than just like a little interactive. Well, it's technically an interactive hotspot, but let's head up the lane. Okay, no, this is. I was kind of hoping there was a story, but I guess you do get the option to kind of explore around as well. Well, shit, a lot of places we can go. Okay. Can we, like, continue the story, though?
Once upon a time,
okay, we hit
they
the
lived
green
with their
arrow.
mother in a sandbank.
Okay,
Underneath
we'll do the story
root
first, and
of
then
a
we'll
very
go for
big
a
fir
mosey.
tree.
Okay. Yep, you're all in the fir tree. Cool.
Now, my dears, said old Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden.
Do we get
Mr. McGregor's garden?
the
The garden where Peter Rabbit goes to steal vegetables.
Oh, you can print all the things, yeah,
Mrs.
if you
McGregor.
so desire.
Mr. McGregor's wife, who put Peter Rabbit's father in a pie.
Forgot they chucked in
Now,
some
my
drama.
dear,
Okay.
your
okay.
father had an accident there.
Oh, we
he
just
was put in
learned
a
this.
pie by Mrs. McGregor.
Yeah, I'm sure he was delicious. What is this a dog just going, yeah, fuck yeah, I want some rabbit pie? Yeah, sounds like a plan.
I'm not afraid of Mr. McGregor.
Oh, okay.
Your father had an accident there. He was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor.
Okay, define accident for me.
Accident. Something bad which happens unexpectedly or by chance.
Yeah, fair enough.
Your father
We're learning some
Now run
vocabulary.
along
That's
and
good.
don't get into mischief. I am going out.
Yep, I need a break from you little shits. Yep, had to fix up that blazer of yours, Peter. What is that animation? Okay, this is the animation, and this is nowhere near as good as like the world of
Now
Beatrix
run along
Potter.
and don't get into mischief. I'm going out.
Root,
I like the way you say root.
root,
Okay,
fir tree.
fir tree. Yes.
Then old Mrs. Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella and went through the wood to the baker's. She bought a loaf of brown bread and 5 currant buns.
Yes, the currant buns.
Fields,
Okay, and they're sort of reusing the locations for the story itself. Okay, no, that's a
Flopsy,
little
Mopsy
clever.
and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, went down the lane to gather blackberries.
Peter's just like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm going for a run. Oh, will you help the foxglove grow? Okay.
My paws are all purple. Where's Peter? Where's Peter?
Where is Peter?
But
Peter's buggered
Peter,
off.
who was very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate.
What a little delinquent.
That was easy.
You say that. Oh yeah, all sorts of wildlife running around. Okay, so they're trying not to do silly ones like the humongous games. They're just doing ones that kind of fit with the aesthetic. Well, that's fair enough, I guess. Because this isn't necessarily
First
for
he ate
kids.
some
This is
lettuces
just-
and some
this is
French
definitely
beans,
for,
and then he ate some
Beatrix
radishes.
Potter fans. Yep, look at him go. He's just
Radishes,
straight into them radishes.
beans,
Under beans. Okay, there's a mini game there. We'll find that later.
cabbages,
Cabbages? Yes. What else we got?
lettuces,
Yeah, I could go some lettuce.
wood,
Actually, I've got bok choy there. Might do something with bok choy tonight.
And then, feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley.
Ah, mate, you just got the itis. Have a nap. You'll be fine.
Wheelbarrow.
Yep. He's just going straight to Mr. McGregor.
Tool shed.
He's gonna make it. It's gonna be a delicious pie though, being filled with all those veggies.
But round the end of a cucumber frame, whom should he meet but Mr. McGregor?
You rascal! You rascal!
Okay. Oh, that robin's back. Is that a robin or a sparrow? I can't tell.
Tool shed.
Yes.
Greenhouse. Bushes.
Yep.
Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop, thief!"
Yep. Okay.
Peter was most dreadfully frightened. He rushed all over the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate.
Can we play with this cat? Oh, look at that cat go. He wants them fishies. No, cute little
Water
thing.
can.
It's funny too. I got next door's cat Sophie in with me at the moment, and she's a medium hair, tawny calico mix, and it's covered in clumps, and they've shaved her, so she's looking very skinny and naked at the moment. Okay.
He lost one of his shoes among the cabbages and the other shoe amongst the potatoes.
Not the potatoes. Well, here's you don't want to get your shoe, Peter? He's going to be in trouble. His mum's going to belt him one for losing all his good clothes.
After losing them, he ran on 4 legs and went faster, so that I think he might have got away altogether.
I don't think he did, though. Can we...
Radishes.
Oh, we can just keep finding out about radishes, sure.
If he had not unfortunately run into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. It was a blue jacket with brass buttons, quite new.
Oh, help! I'm stuck!
Step bro, I'm stuck. It looks like he's trying to break dance, if anything. And that's exactly the sound a gooseberry bush makes. Sure.
Peter
Okay.
gave himself up for lost and shed big tears, but his sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows,
Yeah, okay.
who flew to him in great excitement
they're
and
sparrows.
implored
Okay.
him to exert himself.
I implore you, Peter.
Give up, Peter!
Don't give up. You still
Mrs.
have
McGregor will
friends.
put me in a pie.
Yep. God, he even make a decent fucking pie,
Mr. McGregor came up with a sieve, which he intended to pop upon the top of Peter, but Peter wriggled out just in time, leaving his jacket behind him,
Mr. McGregor still hasn't questioned why the fuck this rabbit's wearing a jacket, though.
and rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in if it had not had so much water in it.
Oops.
Ooh, it's full of water.
Ooh, misses. Anything else I can put? Yep, we gotta lock Peter in. This is your tomb, Peter. Yes. Alright.
Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool shed, perhaps hidden underneath a flower pot.
Yeah, why haven't you gotten your gun yet, mate? That'd
He
be a
began to
quick way
turn them
take care
over
of Peter.
carefully, looking under each.
Okay.
Presently, Peter sneezed. Ka-tissue! Mr. McGregor was after him in no time.
Hey, I shut that window earlier. Okay.
And tried to put his foot upon Peter, who jumped out of a window, upsetting 3 plants.
Yes, these plants do seem very upset. Okay. Was that the... Oh, it's a little window for the mice, I guess? Maybe a little door? I don't know. Is this... We got any hotspots?
That was dreadfully close.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, there was another one here somewhere. Where's that other one? Oh, it's just the plant again. Okay.
The window was too small for Mr. McGregor, and he was tired of running after Peter. He went back to his work.
Well, that's slack. Okay.
Peter sat down to rest. He was out of breath and trembling with fright, and he had not the least idea which way to go. Also, he was very damp with sitting in that can.
Couldn't it be very damp from sitting in the can?
After a time, he began to wander about, going lippity-lippity, not very fast,
Actually, no, if they
and
haven't
looking
changed the
all
original,
round.
maybe it was like they'd had different grammar back in the 1800s or
Flowerpot.
something. Because this is a very old bloody story, I know that for a fact. Okay.
He found a door in a wall, but it was locked, and there was no room for a fat little rabbit to squeeze underneath.
Yeah, he's sort of gone into that Winnie the Pooh conundrum where he's just made himself too fat
An old
to...
mouse was running in and
fit
out
through,
over the stone
holes he
doorstep,
went through
carrying
first.
peas and beans to her family in the wood.
Okay, yep. Got nothing to say, Peter? Or the mouse? No, just go and watch the honeysuckles grow.
Peter
Okay.
asked her the way to the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth that she could not answer. She only shook her head at him. Peter began to cry.
That's certainly a rabbit crying. Sure. Yeah, right.
Then he tried to find his way straight across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled.
It certainly is a puzzling garden. Like, yeah. No idea where we meant to be going in all this.
Water can.
Okay. Nothing really exciting or hot spots, are they? What the hell was in that bag? What are these things? Small potatoes, I guess.
Presently he came to a pond where Mr. McGregor filled his water cans.
Yeah, okay.
A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched as if it were alive.
Doing some swish.
Peter thought it best to go away without speaking to her. He had heard about cats from his cousin, little Benjamin Bunny. He went back towards the tool shed, but suddenly, quite close to him, he heard the noise of a hoe. Scritch, scratch, scratch, scritch.
Yep, Mr.
Peter
McGregor
scuttered
again.
underneath the bushes, but presently, as nothing happened, he came out and climbed upon a wheelbarrow and peeped over. The first thing he saw was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was turned towards Peter,
putting them
and
onions
beyond
on the
him
straw.
was the gate.
Yeah, keep him in line with his strong pimp hand. Yep, there's certainly music to Oh Onions by, sure.
Peter got down very quietly off the wheelbarrow and started running as fast as he could go along a straight walk behind some black currant bushes. Mr. McGregor caught sight of him at the corner, but Peter did not care. He slipped underneath the gate and was safe at last in the wood outside the garden.
Yep, you lost your jacket and your shoes
Mr.
though, mate. You
McGregor
got me
hung
in
up
trouble.
the little jacket and the shoes for a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Peter never stopped running or looked behind him till he got home to the big fir tree. He was so tired that he flopped down upon the nice soft sand on the floor of the rabbit hole and shut his eyes. His mother was busy cooking. She wondered what he had done with his clothes. It was the second little jacket and pair of shoes that Peter had lost in a fortnight.
Bloody hell, Peter, you little shit. Yeah, it's no wonder she's going... Yeah, she's probably going to belt you with that wooden spoon, mate. That's cool.
I am sorry to say that Peter was not very well during the evening. His mother put him to bed and made some chamomile tea, and she gave a dose of it to Peter. 1 tablespoonful to be taken at bedtime.
Oh, it's just chamomile, man. It's
But
fine.
Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail had bread and milk and blackberries for supper.
Oh, that's heaps better. Look at him go.
The end.
Oh, that's it. Okay. That's the end of the story, apparently. Sure. Okay. Just...
Poor Peter.
What? Okay. So I guess we get the double up. We can do Benjamin Bunny's story now. See what Benjamin Bunny's up to, I guess.
The Tale of Benjamin Bunny. One morning, a little rabbit sat on a bank. He pricked his ears and listened to the trit-trot of a pony. A gig was coming along the road. It was driven by Mr. McGregor, and beside him sat Mrs. McGregor in her best bonnet.
Oh, yeah?
As soon as they had passed, little Benjamin Bunny slid down into the road and set off with a hop, skip and a jump.
Yeah, cool. Yep, taking his
To
time.
call upon his relations, who lived in the wood at the back of Mr. McGregor's garden. That wood was full of rabbit holes, and in the neatest, sandiest hole of all lived Benjamin's aunt and his cousins, Flopsy, Mopsy,
Oh, I was wondering what
Cottontail,
yeah, I was
and Peter.
only just read that sign. Josephine Bunny licensed to sell tea and tobacco.
Old Mrs. Rabbit was a widow. She earned her living by knitting rabbit wool mittens and muffatees. I once bought a pair at a bazaar.
Why did you buy? Oh no, that I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm here. My apologies that I did not reply. I was doing some shit. The intro was good. Ah, thanks, mate. Yeah, because I forgot about that. Beatrix Potter actually had a rabbit called Peter that just lived at a house, and she did like sketches of it.
She
and
also
stuff.
sold herbs and rosemary tea and rabbit tobacco, which is what we call lavender.
That's not real bloody tobacco.
Little
Dried
Benjamin
lavender
did
to
not very
smoke?
much
No,
want to
that's-
see his
that
aunt.
doesn't sound very nice. Okay.
He came round the back of the fir tree and nearly tumbled upon the top of his cousin Peter.
What are you doing in that snuggie, Peter? You
Peter
weirdo?
was sitting by himself. He looked poorly and was dressed in a red cotton pocket handkerchief.
Oh.
Peter, said little Benjamin in a whisper, who has got your clothes? Peter replied, the scarecrow in Mr. McGregor's garden, and described how he'd been chased about the garden and had dropped his shoes and coat.
It sounds
Little
like you
Benjamin
broke
sat
the
down
keyboard,
beside
mate.
his
That's
cousin
fair
and
enough.
assured him that Mr. McGregor had gone out in a gig, and Mrs. McGregor also,
Okay, so they're hatching a plan
and
to get
certainly for the
clothes back.
day, because she was wearing her best bonnet. Peter said he hoped that it would rain.
Benjamin's like, that's fucking hilarious,
At this
mate.
point, old Mrs. Rabbit's voice was heard inside the rabbit hole, calling, Cottontail, Cottontail, fetch some more chamomile. Peter
Okay.
said he thought he might feel better if he went for a walk.
It's certainly walking music. Okay.
They went away hand in hand and got upon the flat top of the wall at the bottom of the wood. From here they looked down into Mr. McGregor's garden. Peter's coat and shoes were plainly to be seen upon the scarecrow, topped with an old tam-o'-shanter of Mr. McGregor's.
Yeah, that's how Benjamin got his tam-o'-shanter.
Little Benjamin
Okay.
said, it spoils people's clothes to squeeze under a gate. The proper way to get in is to climb down a pear tree.
What kind of weird rabbit are you, mate?
Peter fell
Rabbits
down
climbing
head
trees.
first,
Bloody hell.
but it was of no consequence, as the bed below was newly raked and quite soft. It had been sown with lettuces. They left a great many odd little footmarks all over the bed, especially little Benjamin, who was wearing clogs.
Yeah, that confused the shit out of Mr. McGregor, just finding, like, tiny little clog prints.
Little
all over your
Benjamin
soil.
said that the first thing to be done was to get back Peter's clothes, in order that they might be able to use the pocket handkerchief. They took them off the scarecrow. There had been rain during the night. There was water in the shoes, and the coat was somewhat shrunk. Benjamin tried on the tam-o'-shanter, but it was too big for him. Then he suggested that they should fill the pocket handkerchief with onions, as a little present for his aunt.
Yeah, fair enough.
Peter did not seem to be enjoying himself. He kept hearing noises. Benjamin, on the contrary, was perfectly at home and ate a lettuce leaf. He said that he was in the habit of coming to the garden with his father to get lettuces for their Sunday dinner. The name of little Benjamin's papa was old Mr. Benjamin Bunny. The lettuces certainly were very fine.
Yeah, cool.
Peter did not eat anything. He said he should like to go home. Presently he dropped half the onions.
What a little shit.
Little Benjamin said that it was not possible to get back up the pear tree with a load of vegetables. He led the way boldly towards the other end of the garden. They went along a little walk on planks under a sunny red brick wall. The mice
I'm
sat
almost
on
thinking
their
this is like
doorsteps
cowbell
cracking
every
cherry
time I click
stones.
the
They winked
next
at Peter
page.
Rabbit and little Benjamin Bunny.
It's not exactly Blue Oyster Cult, is it?
Presently, Peter let the pocket handkerchief go again.
Fuck's sake, Peter, what is wrong with you? You got
They
your
got
clothes
amongst
back.
flower pots and frames and tubs.
Depressed,
Peter
I
heard
guess.
noises worse than ever. His eyes were as big as lollipops. He was a step or two in front of his cousin when he suddenly stopped. This is what those little rabbits saw round that corner. Little Benjamin took one look, and then, in half a minute less than no time, he hid himself and Peter and the onions underneath a large basket. The cat got up and stretched herself, and came and sniffed at the basket. Perhaps she liked the smell of onions.
Well, don't give her any. They're toxic to
Anyway,
cats.
she sat down upon the top of the basket. She sat there for 5 hours.
Yeah. That's what you get, you little fuckers.
I cannot draw you a picture of Peter and Benjamin underneath the basket, because it was quite dark. And because the smell of onions was
Well, just
fearful,
draw
it
a
made
black
Peter
screen
Rabbit
or
and little
something.
Benjamin cry.
Aw.
The sun got round behind the wood, and it was quite late in the afternoon, but still the cat sat upon the basket. At length there was a pitter-patter, and some bits of mortar fell from the wall above. The cat looked up and saw old Mr. Benjamin Bunny prancing along the top of the wall of the upper terrace.
I guess that's what lavender tobacco does to you, considering he's got his pipe in.
He was smoking a pipe of rabbit tobacco and had a little switch in his hand. He was looking for his
I'm
son.
gonna beat the fuck out of my child, yeah.
Old Mr. Bunny had no opinion whatever of cats. He took a tremendous jump off the top of the wall onto the top of the cat and cuffed it off the basket
Shit.
and kicked it into the greenhouse, scratching off a handful of fur. The cat was too much surprised to scratch back.
Okay.
When old Mr. Bunny had driven the cat into the greenhouse, he locked the door. Then he came back to the basket and took out his son Benjamin by the
Yeah,
ears
give him the
and
spankings.
whipped him with the little switch.
That's what you get,
Then
you
he took
little
out his nephew, Peter. Then he took out the handkerchief of onions and marched out of the garden.
Yeah.
When Mr. McGregor returned, about half an hour later, he observed several things which perplexed him. It looked as though some person had
Oh, he
been
actually
walking
noticed
all
the
over the
footprints.
garden in a
Okay.
pair of clogs, only the footmarks were too ridiculously little.
Yep.
Also, he could not understand how the cat could have managed to shut herself up inside the greenhouse, locking the door upon the outside. When Peter got home, his mother forgave him because she was so glad to see that he had found his shoes and coat.
They're gonna give you a whooping, boy.
Cottontail and Peter folded up the pocket handkerchief. And old Mrs. Rabbit strung up the onions and hung them from the kitchen ceiling with the bunches of herbs and the rabbit tobacco. The end.
The end. Yeah, cool. Okay. So I guess now we can just go for a wander, check things out, do some games maybe. Where
If you would
can we
like
go
to hear
there?
about the adventures
No, I
of
don't want to
Peter
hear
Rabbit,
about it. So we got the
click
garden,
on
we got
Peter
the...
and you can read his story.
go in the woods.
Let's go and see Peter Rabbit, shall we?
Okay, so you can play around.
So
in
do
the,
I.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can go check out the little rabbit warren. Yeah, speed this up, please. I want to check everything out. Okay. And I guess you do like all 360.
Rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole. Yeah, alright. So I guess all the paths kind of lead to like other locations. I did see some places we could go. Probably up back towards the farmhouse. See what's in the. Can we go in the farmhouse? Let's find out. Oh, there's Peter. Yeah, he's he's just getting in on them radishes. You're gonna get the itis again, Peter. Fucking never learns, does he? No, let's back out to here. I want to check out the rest of the garden. I mean, he's got a bloody good setup for a garden, though. It's not too bad at all. Oh, there's a little push cat. What else we got? Guess that was it for the garden. But yeah, that probably makes sense. Like, yeah, you can explore around the locations, but it's only the location they have in the story, just so they have to put in extra. Oh, hang on, we can go up towards... Oh, no, okay, yeah. So it's just basically all the locations that were in the story itself. Yeah, well, he's got a pretty bloody good setup for a farm. Still can't find Peter. He checked all his pots and yeah, no rabbits. Yeah, okay. I'll see if we can find like a game to finish out on. Does that seem to be all that was left to do, wasn't
If
it?
you'd like to hear about the adventures
No, we
of
went
Peter
there,
Rabbit,
we went there.
click on Peter and you can read his story. Let's go and see Peter Rabbit.
No, we read the story. We'll go play with those squirrels' nuts to finish out. Hang on. Show me your nuts.
To begin, you must choose the number of nuts you
Why
want to
did
play
the
with.
music get so much
Click on
louder
the
though?
nut pile to make your selection.
Alright.
Try to catch 10 nuts.
Oh, just catch the nuts. Okay. Oh, fuck off, you. Throw them into the basket, you dipshit. I shouldn't have to do all the work here. Pain in the ass, stupid squirrel.
That's a good collection.
Yeah, that music just got that much bloody louder, didn't it? Right, we'll leave that one there. That was, interesting. Like, yeah, reasonably well animated.
I'm watching Death Sandals video, by the way. That's who the person is. So if you want to watch a full playthrough, Death Sandals,